Love Scars 2 became a platinum record from that, and it started from that repost.
You broke that
then they
record.
then they went and shot a music video. That I never say I break records, I spark.
But we're talking about you telling a story through digital marketing, because the way that people were positioning it, and when I say people, I'm going to say the major labels for the most part, didn't understand how this operated. How did you innately understand this? Take me to how you figured this out.
That question is actually interesting because I don't even know. I just feel like I think this is one of those things where you just understood and you didn't know why. Like I went to college. I went to be an accountant. I left college from being an accountant to pursue being a producer and an artist. And then I basically, while being a producer and artist, I had no friends that would support me. I'm 24 years old, 23, 24 years old. All my friends have jobs. So I have no like team around me to help pick me up. So I was like, okay, I need to get my music in front of people. And that is whenever I discovered I was good at marketing, because I was good at marketing myself. And I was so good at it that people were asking me, how did I get all these streams?
So what'd you do?
So the first thing I did, this is 2015 is when I started like dropping raps, and I just dropping music, and I was a SoundCloud head. So I was at that time, XXXTentacion, and who is it? Lil Pump's not even out yet. Who's another crazy throwback?
Chance?
Wi-Fi. No, this is, I started dropping after Chance, but Chance was the one that brought me to SoundCloud.
Okay.
I think he brought a lot of people to SoundCloud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He brought me to Tory Lanez brought me to SoundCloud as well.
Okay.
Tory Lanez, Chance, and then I discovered XXXTentacion, and I discovered all that like SoundCloud rap stuff. I didn't make music like them, but I was just watching them grow, and I saw what they were doing. They were basically clicking up, having friends online, and they were just reposting each other. But I wanted to take it a step further. So what I did is I downloaded this thing called the SoundCloud bot. And it was basically a program that you just plug in to your SoundCloud, right? And you could make, with that bot, I could make 10,000 accounts a day.
Word.
And I could follow 10,000 people a day and unfollow 10,000 people a day.
What?
So they got rid of it really quick, but that's how I started. So what I did was I literally found a folder of like hot girl folder, hot girls, random pictures of hot girls. And I uploaded 10,000 photos to 10,000 accounts, and I had them follow 10,000 accounts a day.
Okay.
And then eventually I built a network of 100,000 followers just like that.
Because they would follow you back.
Because guys would follow back because they thought the girls were hot, and then I would have my song reposted at the top.
Okay, I'm a little confused about how this all works.
So if you're sitting there as a kid on SoundCloud, you're listening to music, a girl follows you, you're going to at least check out her page.
Correct.
And this is why I'm saying I don't know why. I knew that that's how guys think. So I was like hacking the young mind. And I was a young mind, but I was like, I know guys, like if you see a hot girl you might not follow her, but you're going to go to her page and like, what is she listening to? Because back then it was like a profile, you'd repost songs. And my wife will love this. So guys, I knew guys would go to the page, and then they would go to the section where all the songs were reposted. A lot of guys would follow the page, and a lot of guys would just look at the songs, just see what being reposted. And so I would have my song in there, and I would have other, like a Drake song, or like an big song. So I'd put my music in between the reposts.
Okay.
So you press play on the first one, and then it would just play through. Or they're like, who is this new artist? And that's how I built my following at first. I got myself up to like, which is very hard on SoundCloud to even get followers at first, but I got myself up to like 6,000-7,000 doing that. Then the next strategy I did with SoundCloud, how to get, and I was selling like $50 here, $100 here, getting people plays doing that. The next strategy I did was I actually took a PayPal loan, and I bought a big SoundCloud account. It had 500,000 followers, and it was called Hip Hop Essentials, off of a guy from Miami. And so it was like $1,000, which at the time I thought was so much money.
It's a lot of money.
When you're broke.
It's a lot of money to somebody.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a little break, because if you're listening and thinking, fuck, I could really use some guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music industry, I'm now offering private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your career. With over 16 years of experience working with artists, managers, and brands, I can help you map out your next moves. Now, whether that's structuring your team, scaling your brand, navigating the industry, even figuring out what steps to take, whether to go to a distributor or to a record label and figuring out what are the best deal points, I can help you with your career with where you're at. You can now book a one-on-one with me through my Calendly, and you can find the link in the description. Now let's get back to the pod.
It was a lot at the time. Bought that page, and then I started building a business around it, because then I was charging, because it was a bigger page, I was charging $100, and I was doing outreach like, yo, if you want to get there, I'd do that. But then I'd also funnel it with all these fake girl accounts. And so it would make it look like, oh, I'm really crushing it. All these girls are reposting me. So it was kind of like, it was working. They were really getting plays, but it also was just like a whole system. I would tell them like that's what was going on.
Yeah, of course.
They knew that. They knew the whole gig. But
because eventually you're getting real audiences.
Because these girls had followers. Every girl had like 100 to 300 followers,
bro.
So that's like you're getting it, and I would do it over a period of 2 weeks. So and then they would be posting real tracks in between. So it was always like every time I do something, it's not just like, it's very methodical. Like even with how I do anything on Instagram, anything I do on Twitter, it's thought out from the beginning to the end. And that's how I was always doing it. But that was step one. Step two was realizing that, you remember Dat Piff?
Of course.
Of course. A lot of people don't. Do you guys remember Dat Piff? No, see?
Younger. Yeah,
they don't know. They don't know what Dat Piff is. So Dat Piff is where you would go to get all the Lil Wayne's mixtapes. Basically, that's how I'd explain it.
All
mixtapes, but that was Wayne Wayne brought everyone to that. And in my age group, like the only reason the first mixtape I ever downloaded was a Wayne mixtape. And then from there you got Drake, you got Kendrick, you got Cole, you had so many, obviously there's Future and so many more. But whenever SoundCloud popped off, Dat Piff started dying. And I realized there's this hole, because all that music, and Spotify, SoundCloud killed Dat Piff. But then Spotify didn't have the music from Dat Piff, and SoundCloud didn't either. So what I did was I took every single mixtape you can think that you've ever heard on Dat Piff, I took it and I brought it to SoundCloud, and I made a Drake account, I made a Lil Wayne account, I made a Kendrick account, I even made a Beyonce account. I made it every single artist, because at the time labels didn't see value in SoundCloud. This is before Lil Pump blows up. This is before 6ix9ine. This is before Trippie Redd. About a year and a half. This is before Lil Uzi Vert. So this is like in just 6 months before Uzi Vert. So Uzi's about to launch while I'm doing this. And so within 6-7 months, I amassed 5 billion plays.
Wow.
Because understand, I have every Drake song, like all of his music is on there. All the mixtape music. And there's nowhere else to get it on the internet.
These were your pages that you made.
I own.
Did any of these
No one ever reached out.
No one
ever reached out to me.
Why do you think?
Because SoundCloud was looked as, everyone was looking at Spotify. While everyone was looking at Spotify, there was a world going on at SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone missed X. That's why everyone missed Juice WRLD. They didn't miss him. Eventually, they popped their head up and they got him. Yeah. But I was like, anyone that was on SoundCloud at that time, you knew when you heard Juice and you knew when you heard X, like these guys were, these were not regular artists. This was like superstar level talent.
Yeah.
And the first time you heard them. And so and for us, it was confusing. We're like, how did these people not have label deals? Like that was very confusing for us. And then they got so big that you couldn't ignore them. So I made all those, fake accounts, but I didn't get paid for streams.
Right.
That's why I think they never took them down, because I never made money off of them.
Okay. But you were putting your,
but I was reposting my music and other people's music onto Drake, and motherfuckers thought it was Drake.
Crazy.
So that helped with streams. So I was able to, at that time, I was able to get you, if you were good, I could get you like 300,000 plays.
If you were good,
real plays.
If you were a good artist, could make.
If you had made good music, I could get you. If you made like a decent song, I can get you like 100,000 plus real plays.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I wanted to sit down and have the conversation with you, because in my opinion, and a lot of people, and the people who know this world, you are the best at this. And this is why I wanted to talk to you, because of the mind that you have. So it's crazy to hear this. When people talk about the SoundCloud era, what you're doing is really breaking down how this all operated and
worked. Yeah. I wouldn't say I didn't have my hand on every single artist, but at the same time, I kind of did, because if I thought an artist was good, I was also curating the pages. So like,
Exactly.
because so on Drake and on Kendrick and all these accounts that people thought were real, I would actually post good music, because people, if it was just trash music over and over and over again, people would stop caring.
Right.
So in between the ads, I was posting people I thought were good.
Like who?
X.
Okay. Oh.
X was one of them. For sure. And Uzi, I was posting Uzi all the time.
But those teams reaching out to you?
No, they didn't. I was doing that just because it was good.
Interesting.
Because I needed to have some good on the page. So you have these 500,000 to million plus accounts reposting X. People thinking it's Drake, and people thinking they're getting co-signed by Drake. Like literally people would go on Twitter like, I can't believe Kendrick just reposted me on SoundCloud. I'm not even kidding. And no one was paying attention. But then
artists was saying that.
No, like the artists that would get reposted, but they would.
That's what I'm saying.
Some people would say that, and they wouldn't know that I just did it.
That's what I'm saying. The artist is reposted. I can't believe it, but it was actually
me,
not knowing that.
And I just liked the song, and I would never say anything.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I knew if they knew it was me, they would ask me.
Right.
But they were like my friends, and I'll just repost it and make them feel good. And then, but they would, because I didn't tell everyone that I owned it, because if every artist knew I owned it, they would try to. You know what I mean? I didn't, I basically, I don't know how it worked. I didn't tell everyone, that's for sure.
You still operate that way though.
Yeah. Because it's like, I mean, not anymore. But
after this conversation, why? I mean, a lot of people don't know that you operate R&B music.
Well, before we move to R&B music, I want to get back. I wanted to talk about the breaking point for SoundCloud and how I got into marketing.
Okay, please.
Because I was doing this just to pay my rent and to pay for studio time and to pay for mixes for myself. And then I got introduced. The first person in the music industry, like of a prominent name I ever got introduced to, was Elliot Grange. I didn't know.
Wow.
And at the time, it was Elliot Grange, and it was Strange
Music.
Yes. And if he was right here, I'd tell him right now. I walked into his office. He looked the same age as me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, I don't know who Lucien Grange is. I didn't look up any of that.
Yeah.
So I looked at him, and I'm like, your company's called Strange Music? I'm like, have you heard of Tech Nine? He's like, yeah. I'm like, his company's called Strange Entertainment. I literally said, they're gonna sue you. And so, I mean, fast forward, he had to change
his name. Because of that. Because when I met him, he was Strange Music as well.
So
and at that point, he's just getting Trippie Redd.
Yeah.
And a then unknown 6ix9ine.
Yeah. So he had Trippie Redd. So we met him at the same time. So he had Trippie Redd. And so Trippie Redd, the first song they gave, they're like, I got introduced to them like, hey, we want to run something through your SoundCloud network. I was like, cool, let's do it.
Hold on. How did he find you? Because this is the thing about Elliot that I think a lot of people want to try and dismiss. They want to call him a Nepo baby and all that shit. It's like, yo, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about, because this guy, yeah, sure, he's the son of Lucien Grange, but this man, Elliot Grange,
ear to the floor.
He's been a psycho. And I mean that in the most positive way of how in tune he is with this business.
For sure.
He's absolutely dialed in.
Yeah.
Like he knows this, he just understands digital marketing very well.
100%.
Which is, yeah.
Oh, the fact that he even thought to talk to me was probably a good sign that he knew. He was the first person to give me a chance.
That's crazy.
And not even a chance. I didn't even know what I was doing. So he was the first one to see what, like, he heard the idea and they were like, yo, let's try it. So how we got introduced was a producer I was working with knew an artist that was at Strange. And then he was like, yo, you should meet my guy. Like, he runs all of our SoundCloud shit. That's why our shit's popping. And then you should bring him over to Elliot. And like, and I didn't know who Elliot was, but you guys should use him for your artists. Like, it's gonna work. Like, he's literally seen it work. So the first artist they gave me was Trippie Redd. And I think the first song we ever ran was Chair Falling. And it didn't do bad. We ended up getting him like few 100,000 plays, which I said, if the song's good, it'll do a few 100,000 plays. If the song is great, it will break. I didn't know how powerful it was until this moment. If the song is great, it will break. And they basically were like, oh, that song did good, but I don't think we believe in that song. And I was on Trippie Redd's page on the phone with them, or maybe it was a text, but basically I communicated to them. I was like, this song, Love Scars 2, I listened to it and I was like, this song is really, really good.
Mm.
It had to have like 400,000 streams, maybe like 20,000 likes. And I was like, we should run this through my network
400,000 and 20,000 on SoundCloud?
on SoundCloud. So it was like
On his own page?
on his own page.
Yeah.
It had momentum, but nothing. At that time, that's not much. That's like a good song.
Yeah.
And I was like, we should run this through my same network. So now we have the juxtaposition of both songs going through the network. Love Scars 2 became a platinum record from that, and it started from that Repost.
You broke that
Then they
record.
then they went and shot a music video. Now I never say I break records. I sparked it.
Okay.
I've become the spark for a lot of records. And so at that time,
Yeah.
I was like, we should do this song. I think this is the one. We did it, and I was right. And they were like, that was amazing. And at that time, they were like, hey, you should come work for us. And I was like, respectfully decline. And then the next artist he hands me was 6ix9ine. No music out. But I looked at him, I'm like, this guy's crazy. And then they play, I can't believe, I was like, I mean, that was the thing at the time, you know, a little pump and like looking crazy.
Yeah,
I was like, it's probably gonna work. That's what I said. I didn't hear the music yet, but then it was Gummo. And the moment I heard it, that beat, I was like, oh no. I knew it. I was like, this one's gonna, I knew that one was gonna go, I knew that was gonna go so crazy. He dropped it on his page. We ran it through our system. It's going absolutely nuts. It's going so nuts because at that time they didn't have, on SoundCloud, you didn't have a way to do takedowns.
Right.
So there was like 5 or 6 other Gummo 6ix9ine songs. And because 6ix9ine spelled his name weird, there was like 5 or 6 6ix9ine accounts. So what I did to get all the, because we wanted all the plays to go on the same track, so it would go to the top 50 charts.
Right.
So I went to every account and I was like, I work for 6ix9ine. Can you please take down this account, like respectfully? Like we want to make sure all the streams go to him so we can go up the charts. Every single account was just like, we love 6ix9ine. If this is the official account, we'll take our accounts down.
Oh, wow.
And SoundCloud was like a community.
Yeah.
They wanted to see the artists that they support actually make it. But at that time, 6ix9ine didn't have an account. So people were grabbing it from like YouTube or his Instagram, however they found it, and they brought it to SoundCloud.
And they're okay to take it down because nobody's getting money from it.
Nobody was getting money. Yeah. No, at that time, no one was. There was a point where
so this is truly fan-driven community.
For sure.
Well, and
For sure.
For the most part, people aren't getting money. They're not thinking of it the way you're thinking of it.
No, yeah. And so Gummo was the next hit that came through my SoundCloud network. And from there, I don't know. One of my partners, he was good with like, you know, spreading the good word, you could say. That was whenever that's when my marketing career started. Because then I started getting hit up by Epic, Columbia, Interscope, all of them, to be honest with you.